So it's a party. I can't, I started trying to write an article, and I can't do it. I'm too energetic, I'm too happy, I'm too enthusiastic. So, I mean, the news is obvious. This is going to get posted a few days later because it's one of the busiest weeks in Long Shot book history. But, like, this is going to be the second episode of TMI. It has to be. There's no other place for it. The Zack Snyder cut of Justice League was announced officially by HBO Max. So the first thing I want to say is, like, you know, to all the deniers of people said didn't exist, that would never get released, fuck you. It's amazing. You know, there's so much invested in here, and it's relevant for Long Shot books. I mean, it's something that I think directly ties into our ethos as a publishing house, going into auteur theory. So, sorry, I'm in party mood. I didn't intend to. I wanted to read the Bible and write my own book tonight, but I'm so happy. It's such a celebration. This is such a major win for fans, for art. It's just incredible. I mean, like, I legit was getting, like, teared up thinking about it at work today because I was so fucking happy that we're finally going to get to see Zack Snyder's vision. And you should be happy too, even if you hate his films, even if you don't like any of them. I have issues with them. They were both on my top 10 of the decade, but after years and years of hating them, of being a hater, I turned around and grew to appreciate the vision, despite it not always being what I would have envisioned for the projects. So, with auteur theory and long shot books, and why this is relevant, why this has to be talked about with our company, is because it's how we operate. Oddly enough, I'm not a major supporter of auteur theory necessarily. I love the vision of a singular artist. I'd rather take the flaws of one person pushing themselves artistically and taking the risks that they can than I would some studio or some company just, like, calculating it as a board. You know, I grew up reading Ayn Rand, whatever, and I think that artistic quality of what she supported, and, you know, there's issues, I'm not going to get into that, that's a video for another day, but generally her idea of art being one vision, or George Lucas, for instance, I've been really studying, goes in line with our vision. I mean, our whole foundation is we're going to give the artist as much creative freedom as they want. They can go fucking crazy, and we're going to support them, and we're there to help them achieve that vision as much as we can. And you know, that's essentially what HBO did with Zack Snyder. And those of you who aren't familiar, who don't know, so he directed, of course, Man of Steel, Batman v Superman, and during Justice League, his daughter, passed away, I'll put it that way, and he left to mourn. And allegedly he was fired, allegedly he left. The different theories, and Joss Whedon came in, a total hack, a shitty filmmaker, a total fraud. He's done good things. I mean, I grew up watching Buffy. Buffy made me the film fan that I am in many ways. It helped me in terms of my, more liberal tendencies, I suppose you could say. I'm not a total hater of Joss Whedon. I'm a defender of Age of Ultron. I enjoyed that movie. But, like, he just ruined Justice League. I mean, the digital from film comparisons that are online, he just had a very different vision than Zack Snyder. I think he got fucked too by the studio. WB is to blame, not even Joss Whedon, who is not a filmmaker I typically enjoy. But so after years and years of there being countless arguments whether or not it even exists, and first of all, I mean, this was the Richard Donner cut. I think most of us acknowledge that the special effects weren't finished. I think most of us knew that. I think it was goalpost moving to say that it wasn't a completed film. Most of us just wanted the framework, and what we got today was better than we ever asked for, with WB putting forth, I think, $20 million to complete this project, to get the score by Junkie XL, to get this into a 4-hour movie or an 8-hour miniseries on HBO. I mean, wow. It's unprecedented. The only other example I can think of is The Exorcist: The Dominion. And to the people who didn't want it, to the people who are upset today, you know, I mean, there's no ethical grounds for that. I mean, you have your movie with Joss Whedon. Now we're gonna get the other version, and it might be bad. It might suck. There's issues I have with BVS, even though I love that movie. There's strong issues I have with Man of Steel as well, despite enjoying that movie. I'm sure it won't be perfect, but we get to see it. We get to judge it for ourselves. That's the important thing. And with our company as well, besides the outdoor theory thing, I mean, that's kind of abstract, but I remember I had personal issues when we first starting the company. I mean, it's been discussed to death. It's boring. If you want to know about the struggles that Marina and I have had starting Longshot Books, just looking at Joseph Campbell's hero journey, in the sense that the hero with 1,000 faces, you know, you don't need to know the specifics. I've grown to accept that I appreciate my life I have now. The struggles that I've had to get there are irrelevant. There's struggles that made me the person I am. The details don't matter. But like, there was 2 artists that really got me through it when I was uncertain, when I wanted to quit writing. And I did. I announced I was quitting writing. And you know, as far as I'm concerned, it was kind of divine intervention. It was kind of, I was meant to write. I was just not meant to write the kind of stuff that I would have continued writing. And I needed that experience to understand that I need to change my coursework. And with Longshot Books, I mean, I was a complete wreck, and it took me years to get back on track at all. And Zack Snyder losing his daughter and making another movie, Army of the Dead, and fighting for Justice League, was really one of my main inspirations. Him and Kanye West losing his mother, as well as his long-term relationship. Those were the 2 things that really got me thinking, like, if they can get through that and make art, if they can get through that and, you know, keep it together, I have no excuse. I have to do that. And there's other examples, probably even better examples, but those were the 2 that kept me going. Those are the 2 that kept Longshot Books alive on my half, on a Hollywood superficial level, you know. I mean, Maureen, of course, was definitely a huge supporter. She definitely helped me through all of it. I mean, she let me live in her house. My mother, my father, my stepmother, you know, I mean, my brother, my whole family really supported me and helped me through all of it. So on a personal level, just seeing that level of tragedy and that struggle and everything that Zack's went through, and now we're gonna get to see his vision. I mean, I don't care if I wind up seeing it. I hate the movie. It's irrelevant. We get to see what he wants us to. I mean, it's hard to talk about because I'm getting emotional. I'm just so happy. I'm so grateful. I mean, this is a great day for art. I'm going to probably post this Friday, but like, this is the kind of thing that makes me just think like, what an awesome time to be alive. What a privilege it is to exist right now. And if you don't want to see the Zack Snyder's vision, if you don't like his vision, I get that. I really do. That's cool. But just as human beings, you know, I mean, to sympathize with his story, that's what got me back. I hated Man of Steel. I hated Batman v Superman when they came out. I mean, I did the reviews with Renaissance Men. You can watch them. I mean, I was totally on the Zack Snyder hate bandwagon. And they wound up being both on my top 10 films of the decade. But like, regardless, even you still hate them. You know, I mean, we released the Too Cool for the Comic Shop reviews, and my good friend Eric Zavinsky isn't big on BVS, and I'm a bigger fan of that than I am MOS. You know, that's cool. But just as artists, as fans of art, what a tremendous victory. I mean, it just gives me so much hope, and it makes me so happy, and I just want to commemorate that with this video. So this is going to be the second episode of TMI. So it's a party. I'm going to go listen to Andrew WK and drink more. It's just, you know, it's not too often. I'm very reactionary. I typically do angry things because those, you know, can get my energy levels up. But it's so cool. It's just incredible. This is This is the reason the term too good to be true exists. I don't allow myself to say too good to be true because I think that's very pessimistic, but this is it. We made it, fam.